I'm Lauren with StoneMan Climbing Company, and I'm here to show you how to lead belay with an auto tuber device. Here I have the Edelrid Jul 2, and I'm going to clip the locking carabiner to my belay loop. From my lead climber, I want to make sure that I give him enough slack before he starts the climb. I pay attention to where the first piece of protection is, and I guess about how much slack he's going to need to get there so that I don't pull him off the wall. Then I'm going to take a bite in the rope, making sure that the climber's side is over here and the brake strand is on my right side. I'm going to pinch that into the tube device and then clip it through the carabiner, making sure that I lock the carabiner. I double check by holding the brake strand and pulling up on the climber side to make sure that it locks and engages. So now that I've got my belay device ready to go, I'm gonna double check the climber. Knot is through 2 hard points, and he's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 coming out the top on his figure 8. His harness looks good. It's nice and tight over his hips, got his helmet on and his climbing gear. So he's ready to go. And now the climber is gonna check me. My harness is tight and double backed in all 3 spots. My carabiner is locked and the climber is coming out the top. All right, ready?
On belay.
Belay's on.
Climbing.
Climb on. So as he goes up, I want to make sure that I don't stand right underneath him in case he were to come off the wall. Before the first clip, I want to make sure that I've given him enough slack so that he can go up to his first bolt and clip in without being pulled off. I can already tell I gave him too much slack, so I will be pulling in some slack when I first take him tight. So when he clips, look at all this slack that's on the ground. So I quickly want to take that in so that I keep him safe and so he doesn't hit the ground. Making sure that I keep my right hand on the brake strand the entire time. Especially at the first piece, you want to make sure that there's not much slack in the rope because he is really close to the ground still. He could still fall and stretch the rope and get pretty close to the ground depending on where he's at with this piece of protection. As he goes up, I'm going to maintain a 3 to 5 foot loop of slack, a nice smile, not too tight and angry, not too loose hitting the ground. Nobody likes a fake smile, but a good 3 to 5 foot smile. As he goes up, I make sure that I keep that loop. When he's clipping, I feed more slack, always keeping my right hand on the brake side. When I need to take in slack, I punch, I lower, bring my left hand under, and slide my right hand up in order to take in the slack if there's too much. As he's climbing, I can watch the rope to make sure he has an appropriate amount of slack and make sure that there's no knots or tangles in the rope that would get caught up as he's climbing. Efficiency matters and seconds matter whenever you're climbing, and so you try to think ahead before anything were to happen to make sure that you account for as much as you can. That's why you try to stay ahead of the game, managing your rope and keeping a nice clean area as you're dealing with the rope. He's ready to clip, so I have to give him slack quickly. That's why I gotta make sure there's no knots in the rope while I'm belaying. When I have to do something fast, you don't always have the time to work out any issue. I could tell that he started to fall, so I wanted to take out as much slack as I could before he got there, but you don't always know. And so I make sure that I keep my right hand down to my side, and I immediately grab with my left hand. I don't need to do anything with this side of the rope, don't need to grab it. The brake strand is what's gonna make all the difference. Nice job. Woo. Nice. Climb on. As he climbs, I can disengage this device by putting my thumb through here and pulling up on the device to now feed more slack. I still want to make sure that I'm staying underneath the first piece of protection so that I minimize the distance that I go if he were to fall. I can tell he's moving faster. He must be an easier section of rock because he's climbing more quickly. Or he's pulling up the rope. Either way, I want to maintain the slack. So now that he said that's him, I'm going to pull and punch, bring my left hand underneath, slide it up so that I take in the slack. And I keep him nice and tight. All right, lowering, lowering. So with my right hand, I put my thumb through the belay device and I pull up to disengage that part. I like to put both hands on the rope to help me maintain control and speed as he's lowering. Particularly because he weighs more than me, and it helps me lower him at a controlled rate and not scare him by going too fast. If he needs to stop for any reason, I simply bring my hands down and I let go of the belay device and it engages in here. Now he's ready to lower again, so I put my thumb through and continue to lower. I'm controlling the rate at which he's coming down.
Off the belay.
Your belay's off. All right, now he's off. I can take the device off and the rope out.